What would you do if the one person who made your world feel safe was suddenly taken away, labeled a criminal by everyone you knew? What would you do if the truth was buried under lies, and you were the only one who believed in his innocence? This is my story, a tale of unbreakable love, fierce determination, and the quiet power of a daughter's heart. It's about how darkness can test us, but light always finds a way through. My name is Lily. I am 16 years old and I live in a tiny town called Willow Creek, tucked away in the rolling hills of rural Kentucky. It's the kind of place where everyone knows your name, the air smells like fresh hay and wildflowers in summer, and the nights are so quiet you can hear the crickets singing like a lullaby. Our home is a weathered farmhouse on the edge of town, with a sagging porch swing and a garden full of tomatoes and sunflowers that my father planted every spring. I don't have a mother, she died giving birth to me, leaving behind only a faded photo on the mantel and stories from neighbors about how kind she was. But I never felt her absence too deeply because I have him. My father, Samuel. He's the sun in my sky, the steady hand that guides me through every storm. Before I share more of this journey with you, I want to ask for a small favor. If stories like mine, raw, real, and full of heart, touch something inside you, please subscribe to my channel. It helps me reach more people who need these tales of hope and resilience. Share this video with a friend who might be fighting their own battles and drop a comment below. What's one thing you'd do for the person you love most? Your words mean everything to me, they keep me going. Now let's step into the warmth of those early days, before the shadows fell. My father isn't like other dads. He's 42, with calloused hands from years of working the fields and fixing tractors at the local garage, but his heart is as soft as fresh-baked cornbread. He sings off-key in the mornings while flipping pancakes, his voice a gravelly rumble that makes me giggle even on bad days. He can't read much beyond the headlines in the newspaper. School wasn't kind to him as a boy, but that never stopped him from making up bedtime stories about brave knights and talking animals who always won in the end. "You're my little knight, Lily," he'd say, tucking me in with a kiss on the forehead, "and I'll always fight for you." People in town call him Sammy the Dreamer because he believes in the impossible, like the time he spent a whole summer building a treehouse in our backyard, complete with a rope ladder and a dragon-proof drawbridge, just because I mentioned wanting one in passing. Our life was simple, but it was ours. Mornings started with him knocking on my door, a tray in hand, pancakes drowning in syrup, fresh eggs from our chickens, and a glass of orange juice squeezed from the neighbor's grove. "Rise and shine, my queen," he'd call, his eyes twinkling behind wire-rimmed glasses that always slipped down his nose. We'd eat on the porch, watching the sun climb over the hills, talking about everything and nothing, my school projects, the latest gossip from the diner, or how the creek down the road was perfect for skipping stones that afternoon. He walked me to school every day, rain or shine, his big hand enveloping mine. The other kids teased me sometimes, Lily and her goofy dad, but I didn't care. To me, he was perfect. He cheered louder than anyone at my school plays, clapped until his palms turned red at spelling bees, and once even dressed as a pirate for career day, because I said it would be cool. Town folks loved him too in their way. At the garage, he'd fix engines for free if someone was down on their luck, trading jokes and stories that left customers smiling. "Sammy's got a heart bigger than this town," old Mr. Hargrove would say, slapping him on the back, but there were whispers too about how he was a bit simple, how he'd never remarried after Mom died, how he spent too much time daydreaming instead of getting ahead. I ignored them. To me, he was my hero, the one who made the world feel safe. "No matter what, Lily," he'd say during our evening stargazing sessions, pointing at the sky, "the stars are always there, even when clouds hide 'em. Just like us, you and me against the world." That world shattered on a golden autumn afternoon when I was 16. It was a Friday, the kind of day where the leaves crunched underfoot like candy, and the air hummed with the promise of weekend adventures. I was in my last class, English, where we were reading To Kill a Mockingbird, when the principal burst in, her face pale as milk. "Lily Harper," she said, voice trembling. I stood, heart pounding, thinking of Dad's truck breaking down again. But as I followed her to the office, sirens wailed outside, piercing the calm like knives. Through the window I saw it, 3 police cars blocking the school entrance, red and blue lights flashing like a nightmare. And in the center, handcuffed and surrounded by officers, was my father. "Daddy," my voice was a whisper, but he heard it. His head snapped up, eyes wide with terror. "Lily, stay back, baby girl," he shouted, struggling against the cuffs. An officer shoved him toward a cruiser, barking, "Quiet you think this is a game?" Townsfolk gathered, murmuring like a swarm of bees. "Samuel Harper, arrested for murder," someone whispered. "Murder." My knees buckled. I ran outside, pushing through the crowd. "No, let him go, he didn't do anything," I screamed, tears streaming. Dad twisted, face crumpling. "It's okay, Lily, I love you, remember the stars." The door slammed, engine roared, and he was gone, swallowed by the black and white beast. The world tilted. Teachers pulled me back as I lunged for the car, sobs choking me. "He couldn't hurt a fly," I gasped. "He's my dad." Principal Hayes wrapped an arm around me, murmuring condolences, but her words were noise. Murder, Dad, who rescued baby birds from gutters and cried at sad movies. It didn't make sense. The principal drove me home, the radio buzzing with news. Local man Samuel Harper, 42, arrested in connection with the death of 14-year-old Mia Reynolds. Authorities say Harper assaulted the girl near the creek trail yesterday afternoon. Reynolds succumbed to her injuries overnight. Mia, the sweet girl from my art class with braids and a laugh like bells, dead, and Dad, accused. Home was a tomb. The porch swing creaked in the wind. Dad's coffee mug sat cold on the table. I collapsed on his chair, clutching his flannel shirt, inhaling the scent of motor oil and aftershave. "Daddy," I whispered, rocking. "How, why?" The phone rang, neighbors, friends, all with the same shocked questions. "Lily, honey, is it true? Praying for you, child." But no answers. I called Aunt Clara in Lexington, Mom's sister, our only family. "I'll come tomorrow," she promised, voice breaking. That night, sleep evaded me. I stared at the ceiling, replaying Dad's face. Fear, love, unbreakable spirit. "Stars," I murmured, his word for hope. But the sky outside was overcast, mocking me. Aunt Clara arrived at dawn, her face lined with worry, hugging me like I was 5 again. "We'll fight this," she said, brewing tea with shaking hands. The sheriff's visit came mid-morning, a burly man with a mustache, hat in hand. "Miss Lily, I'm sorry, your pa, he's in county lockup, bail hearing Monday." "What happened?" I demanded, voice small. He sighed. "Mia was walking home from school. Folks saw a man, matching Samuel's description, arguing with her near the creek. She fell, hit her head, bad luck, but witnesses say he pushed her." "Lies," I cried. "Dad wouldn't." Clara pulled me close as the sheriff left, promising justice. But justice felt like a distant dream. All was hell. Whispers followed me. "Killer's daughter. What if he's guilty?" Eyes averted, friends distant. I skipped lunch, hiding in the library, poring over newspapers. Mia's photo smiled back, braces gleaming, eyes bright. The article, "Beloved teen found unresponsive, suspects Samuel Harper, known local mechanic, in custody." Known for what? Kindness, I wanted to scream. The garage owner, Mr. Tate, stopped by after school. "Lily, boy's innocent as a lamb. I'll post bail if I can scrape it." His words were a lifeline, but bail was $50,000. Impossible for us. The hearing was a blur. Courtroom wood-paneled and stuffy, Dad in orange, shackled, eyes searching for me. "Not guilty," his lawyer said, voice steady. But the judge set bail at $25,000, remand until trial. "Daddy," I sobbed as they led him away. Clara drove me home, promising, "We'll hire a better lawyer." But money was tight. She worked as a nurse, sending what she could. Nights blurred, crying into pillows, dreaming of Dad in a cell, his songs silenced. Hope flickered when Mrs. Ellis, my English teacher, pulled me aside. "Lily, I believe him. Mia was my student sister. Let's dig." She was 50, sharp-eyed with a no-nonsense bun. "Witnesses?" she asked. "Vague," I said. "One saw a tall man in flannel. Dad fit, but so did half the town." Mrs. Ellis nodded. "Alibis?" "Dad was at the garage till 4 p.m. Mia died around 5. Mr. Tate can vouch." We visited him. He swore Dad left at 3:45 for groceries. Receipts proved it. "Good start," she said. Mrs. Ellis introduced us to pro bono lawyer Ms. Rivera, a fierce advocate for the wrongfully accused. "Tell me everything," she said, notepad ready. I poured out Dad's character, the day, Mia's kindness. He'd never hurt a child. Ms. Rivera nodded. "Character, witnesses, and that tall man, description matches several, including Mia's uncle, Victor Lang, in a custody battle with her mom." Suspicion dawned. Dig on Victor, Ms. Rivera said. Weeks dragged, bail fundraisers at church pie sales, car washes, raised $5,000. Visits were torture, dad thinner, spirits low, but stars, Lily, hold on. I smuggled notes, love you forever. School was isolation, bullies taunted, but friends like Jake defended me. Your dad's good people, he'd say. Breakthrough, Mrs. Ellis found a witness, a jogger who saw Victor arguing with Mia near the creek, balloon in hand, town fair day. He grabbed her arm, she pulled away, tripped. Anonymous fear, but Ms. Rivera subpoenaed. Victor's alibi crumbled, texts placing him elsewhere proved false. Trial day, courtroom packed, tension thick. Ms. Rivera shone, dad's alibi, character letters, dozens from neighbors, joggers' testimony. Victor crumbled on cross, I lost my temper. Motive, custody, spite, jury deliberated 2 hours. Not guilty. Court erupted, I ran to dad, hugging him fiercely. My night, he whispered, tears flowing, homecoming, town barbecue, apologies flowing. We were wrong, Mr. Hargrove said, dad smiled. Forgiven. Life healed, dad back at garage, me graduating top class. Victor jailed for manslaughter. Aunt Clara visited more, Mrs. Ellis became family. Dad and I stargazed again. You saved me, he said. No, Dad, we saved each other. Now at 18, college bound, I know, love fights hardest. Dad's my hero, innocent, unbreakable. Thank you for this journey. If it inspired you, subscribe, share, comment your story. Maury Taylor's coming, stay strong.